Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to describe your future spouse based on astrology and your own birth chart. This is going to be the characteristics of this person, their personality, just their overall vibe and what they're like. And we're also going to touch a little bit on some of the possible careers that this person can have and the dynamic that will exist between the two of you. Now, in order to do this, we're going to be looking at your 7th house, specifically the sign that is occupying and ruling your 7th house. So if you don't know what sign is occupying your 7th house, I'm going to leave a birth chart calculator down below so you can generate that. You can find out what sign is in your 7th house, then come back to this video and click on the timestamp of that sign. So if your 7th house is ruled by Gemini, you're going to want to watch the Gemini timestamp. Now, in our birth chart, we of course have our ascendant, which is AKA our rising sign. Our ascendant is the sign that occupies our 1st house. The 1st house is the house of self. It has everything to do with you, your identity, your ego. It's the role that you play out in the world. But on the opposite side of our ascendant, we have our descendant, which is the sign that rules our 7th house. The 7th house is the house of partnerships and of romance. And the 7th house has everything to do with the significant relationships in our life, whether it's romantic, friends, family, business partners, but mainly the 7th house has to do with your spouse. It has to do with who you're going to marry. Now, not everybody gets married, but even if you don't get married, the 7th house is going to reveal the person that's going to be the most dominant romantic relationship in your life. It's going to be the person that you spend the majority of your life with. Maybe it's the most significant soulmate. The 7th house can also just kind of show maybe the types of relationships that you tend to attract throughout your whole life. But today we're just going to focus on what the 7th house reveals about your spouse. The sign that is occupying your 7th house reveals a lot about the person you're going to marry. The 7th house also reveals what it is that you need in a partner for that person to be best suited for you. So again, that's why it has to do with who we marry, because it's kind of like your ideal partner exists in the 7th house. Now, there's a lot of different places we can look in a birth chart. There's a lot of different techniques we can use to find out details about the person you're going to marry. We could take this a step further and we could locate maybe where you're going to meet them, the circumstances surrounding your relationship, surrounding your wedding, surrounding your marriage as a whole. But today we're just going to focus mainly on what is this person like? What is their personality? What are they all about? So once you know what sign is occupying your 7th house, go ahead and click on that timestamp where I will reveal the personality and the characteristics of who you're going to marry. So starting off with Aries, if your 7th house is ruled by Aries, this would of course make you a Libra rising. And sometimes astrology is completely literal. Like you might actually marry an Aries or marry someone that has really strong Aries placements, like their sun, moon, or rising, but that's not always the case. What this person will embody, though, is those Aries-like traits and that Mars type of energy. So the person that you're going to marry, first of all, they're going to be really independent. They're going to be passionate. They're going to be bold, outspoken. They're going to be exciting. They're going to get inspired and overwhelmed with excitement to go do whatever it is that they feel inspired to do. This person might be impulsive and unafraid to take risks or take leaps of faith. It's also pretty likely that this person is competitive. They might even be competitive with you, kind of in like a playful, romantic way, but they're probably just competitive by nature. This person is going to probably be pretty physical. Aries is kind of related to physical activity. So this person has a lot of energy that they like to get out through fitness or sports or just something that gets their body moving. And because this person is going to be kind of impulsive, they might be known for starting things things, but not always finishing them. Or like starting something and then once they're not excited about it anymore, they just kind of like forget about it and move on to the next thing. So they might not always have the best follow through, like with certain projects and stuff, because they just like take action right away without really thinking about the long-term plan or anything in the future. They just like kind of go for it. Of course, there could be other things going on in this person's chart that alters that, but overall they are going to kind of be like impulsive and just like passionately take chances. It's possible that this person is a bit emotionally immature at times. They could be kind of childish at times, and with the Mars influence, it is possible that this person could potentially have anger issues. They could be quick to anger. They could just get like heated up really easily out of nowhere, but usually what will happen is this person gets over it just as quickly as they get pissed off. And then on the extreme side of this person could be aggressive, even like physically aggressive. That just is something that comes with the Mars territory. That's not always going to be the case though, but this person has more of a tendency to be that way than the other signs. And this person is also going to be very masculine. So whether they're a man or a woman, they're really going to exist more in their masculine energy. So that's somebody who's like a go-getter, takes the lead, is a bit more authoritative, gets things done, is just kind of like the one in charge. Now, some of the possible jobs with this person, it's very likely that this person will be in an athletic industry, something related to fitness or sports. They literally could be an athlete or just have a job that is somehow related to that type of thing. They could also have a job that isn't sports related, but it's still something that requires them to use their physical body and their strength. And another likely job for this person is that they could be an entrepreneur, because Aries is a pioneer that kind of just like does its own thing and forges its own path. So this person could definitely be a business owner, an entrepreneur. They could have many different business ventures that they're involved in. And as far as the dynamic between the two of you, I think one of the best things about this duo is that Aries is a sign that is selfish. It's very focused on the self. It's kind of motivated by its own needs. And then Libra, you being the Libra rising, you're self-sacrificing. Libra is always putting other people before themselves. They sometimes can lack boundaries because they're always caring about the needs of other people. You always want to keep the peace. You always want there to be harmony. So sometimes that means you sacrifice your own needs. But what happens when you come together with this person is they really teach you how to be more selfish, how to have better boundaries, how to put yourself first. And then vice versa, you kind of show this person how to be like a bit more empathetic of other people, a bit more compassionate towards the needs of other people. So it creates this really great balance, and you really kind of help give the other person what they really need to be in their power. All right, so moving on to Taurus. If you have Taurus occupying your 7th house, that would mean you are a Scorpio rising. Now, sometimes astrology is completely literal and you will actually marry a Taurus. I have actually seen this in 2 Scorpio risings that I know. They have married Taurus sun signs. But you might also marry someone that has dominant Taurus placement, sun, moon, or rising, but that's not always the case. You're not always going to marry a Taurus, but you are going to marry someone that embodies that Taurus, Venus, Earth energy, right? Taurus is ruled by Venus. Taurus is an earth sign. So this person is going to really embody that type of energy. This person that you are going to marry is going to be first and foremost very practical. They're going to be grounded. They're going to be calm. They're going to be they're going to be patient, okay? So they're going to be kind of slow moving. It might be kind of a slow start. It might not be super easy in the beginning for this person to like warm up to you. They're going to take things a little bit slower. Now, it's possible that this person might be kind of stubborn. Of course, Taurus is known for being stubborn more than like any of the fixed signs, but you being a Scorpio rising, you have some of that that stubborn energy in you too. But this person is really gonna have a grounded and methodical approach to everything that they do in life. With Taurus being ruled by Venus, this person is going to embody those Venus-like energies. So this person is, first of all, probably very beautiful. They might be very physically attractive. And they also might be kind of materialistic. They might like luxurious items. They might make luxurious purchases. They probably care a lot about money. Money and stability is very, very important to these people. Because they are related, Taurus is related to the five senses. This person likes to enjoy the pleasures in life. They probably like to eat good food. They might be a foodie. They like to go shopping. They like to pamper themselves. They also might be very sensual. So with Scorpio being such a sexual sign and Taurus being very sensual, you guys will have probably a really great sexual relationship with one another. Now, even though this person might be materialistic and like the finer things in life, they are still practical and rational, and they think things through. This is not an irrational person. This person's probably pretty calm, pretty laid back. They're very stable, and they also possess a lot of common sense. This person is well-rounded, is how I would really describe them. As far as what career this person is going to have, there's kind of like three main things that I think of. One of them is finance. They're probably involved in finance in some way. Maybe they're an accountant. Maybe they are a financial advisor or something like that. The other one would be gardening or something in like the plant flower industry. Taurus is like directly related to gardening. Taurus is known for having like a green thumb. They're very much connected to the earth. So they could definitely do something in that realm, or they're probably involved in the arts or theater in some way. And maybe they're not like the center stage actor in the theater, but they're in that industry. Like maybe they're doing more of the planning or something behind the scenes within like the theater industry. Maybe they're involved in arts, like an art gallery or something like that. Maybe they literally are an artist. And then they could also be in like the beauty or fashion world. So it's kind of like finance, gardening, creative, you know what I mean? Like art. Those are like the three main careers for this person. Now, as far as the type of relationship that you guys will have, first of all, it will be very steady and stable with a lot of loyalty and commitment. This is a pairing that really like stands the test of time. You're very loyal to one another, and you're probably also going to have a very traditional marriage. And do more of the traditional things. Taurus is a very traditional sign. And then I would say the other like main theme that will exist in your relationship is a theme around finances. So you guys will probably like connect because of your financial compatibility. Like both of you have this desire to be financially stable, and you guys can generate a lot of wealth together. And that actually might even be like kind of a big factor in what makes you guys like want to be together. I know that sounds materialistic, but it's just more than the other signs. You both care about money. So it's like attractive to you to be with a partner that's stable and can provide for themselves. And that makes you guys want to like join forces. So finances will be like a big role in your marriage in a really positive way. You guys could really generate a lot of wealth together. All right, so moving on to Gemini. If your 7th house is occupied by Gemini, that of course makes you a Sagittarius rising. Now, sometimes astrology will be completely literal. You might literally marry a Gemini or somebody that has really dominant Gemini placements like their sun, moon, or rising, but that's not always the case. This person will just embody that Gemini type of energy and also that Mercury energy because Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So first of all, one of the main traits that your marriage partner is going to have is they're going to be a fantastic communicator. That's going to be something that you guys will connect on and have like a very intellectual bond. This person is great at communicating. They're great at talking. They probably love to talk. This person is witty. They're funny. They like to banter. They're probably very curious. They have very curious minds. So you'll know this person because you will just have the best conversation with them. Gemini is kind of known as like a jack of all trades. So this person is probably really interested in a lot of different things. They will like dip their toe into a whole bunch of different hobbies. They might be really good at a lot of different things. They might have a lot of skills and a lot of talents, especially too when it comes to their hands, because Gemini does rule the hands. This person could also be very restless. Gemini rules the nervous system, and because these people have such like overactive minds, they might be restless. They might deal with anxiety. They could just be like on edge or nervous a lot because they just have a ton of mental energy at all times. It's kind of hard for them to shut their mind down. But this person is also very smart. They are gonna love to learn. They want to learn. If something piques their interest, they're gonna go and they're gonna learn about it. And it's also possible that this person is kind of like childish in a way, kind of like that playful, childish energy. They might maybe seem to be like a little bit more immature than you, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. They're just kind of like youthful and childlike. Now, something interesting is that this is obviously not always going to be the case, but it is likely that the person you marry is somebody that you know from childhood, because Gemini does have this connection to like our early childhood experience and like our elementary school days. So yeah, so you might know this person from your childhood or like from school when you were growing up. Now, as far as what career this person might have, they're going to probably be involved in a career in communications. It's very likely that this person would have a job that's somehow related to like media. Okay, they could be a journalist, they could be a writer, anything having to do with communication, media, maybe even something on the internet, something like that. And like I mentioned, Gemini also rules the hands. So this person probably does something that requires them to use their hands. Maybe it's writing or maybe it's something totally different, but something where their hands are like necessary in order to do the job. And like I also mentioned, with Gemini having the connection to elementary education, they could be involved in elementary education in some way. Maybe they're a teacher or they just work in a school. And as far as the type of relationship you'll have with this person, it really will be a very lighthearted type of bond. You guys will first of all bond intellectually. So that'll be like your main connection, is the conversations that you guys have, the deep conversations, the lighthearted conversations. You probably have a very playful and funny type of vibe between the two of you guys. You joke around a lot, almost kind of like friends. It's kind of like a romance that also has a really great friendship. And you guys will also be very like flirty, very free-spirited. You might be really adventurous. You guys might like to go on like little trips. Or just do like fun out of the box things. You could be super spontaneous with one another. So the main thing with you guys is the intellectual bond, and then also like the lighthearted friendship that you guys will also share within the romance. All right, so next up we have Cancer. If your 7th house is occupied by Cancer, this of course makes you a Capricorn rising. Now, sometimes astrology will be completely literal. This person you marry might actually be a Cancer or have dominant Cancer placements like Sun, Moon, or Rising, but that's not always the case. This person is just going to embody that Cancerian-like energy and also that energy of the moon, because Cancer is ruled by the moon. So what this means is that your future spouse, first and foremost, this is someone who is incredibly nurturing. They are probably very motherly. They have a motherly energy about them. Whether they're female or male, they have that nurturing, motherly vibe. They make you feel safe. They make you feel emotionally safe and like it's okay to be vulnerable in front of them. They make you feel very just like held and taken care of. This is someone who really cares about family. They are probably pretty traditional. They're gonna want to have children. They might be very like domesticated. Like they might be homebodies. In fact, they probably are homebodies. They like to be home. They like to make the home comfy. Maybe they really like to cook, or they just like to take care of you. They like to take care of you, the family, the home. And this person is really strongly in their feminine energy. The moon is that feminine energy. So this person, because they really exist in their feminine energy, they're going to be very receptive. They They are going to be able to pick up on your moods. They're going to be intuitive. They're going to be emotionally intelligent. They're going to be very empathic. And they also might be kind of passive, right? They might want to always try and like take care of everybody else and maybe keep the peace a little bit. They might not always speak up about how they feel because they really just care about your needs and your feelings. But this is someone who just makes you feel really safe, really emotionally secure, really seen, really validated. They really care about you and your feelings. And one of the bonuses is that Cancer, whether it's male or female, is usually really associated with beauty. Like a lot of Cancerian people are beautiful, or they're very cute, they're very pretty. It's a very soft, like feminine, angelic type of energy that these people have. So they're probably really nurturing and hot. Now, as far as what this person does for a career, it's completely likely that they work from home. Or it might be somebody that doesn't work from home, but once you get married and settle down and have children, you guys might decide that this person is going to be the homemaker. Maybe they're going to become a stay-at-home parent, they're going to get a job that allows them to work from home. But if they're not working in the home, they are probably in a field that has to do with healing in some sort. Like maybe they literally are a healer, maybe they have more of like a spiritual career, or they could be something like a nurse or a counselor, something where they're really getting to take care of people emotionally, or to just make people heal and feel better. So those are some possible careers that this person could have. Another one too is that they could be involved in some type of creative industry. All of the water signs are like directly related to creativity. So this person could have some type of career in a creative field. Now, the type of relationship that you guys will have, this is probably like the most traditional out of all the signs, because Cancer and Capricorn are like mom and dad. You guys tend to have traditional values. You want that traditional family life. You want to get married. You want to have a stable home. You want to have a loving family. You want to have children. But this person specifically might be the half of the relationship that kind of does more of the nurturing, homemaking things, where you do more of the like providing stability in a financial way. But this is a very balanced and a very wholesome type of relationship. And again, very traditional, a lot of love, and really, really loyal and committed. And you are both people who are looking for marriage. Like you're looking for your spouse, which is why you guys make a perfect pairing. So next up we have Leo. So if your 7th house is occupied by Leo, this of course makes you an Aquarius rising. Now, sometimes astrology is very literal. Like you might literally marry a Leo or someone with really dominant Leo placements like sun, moon, or rising, but that's not always the case. But this person will embody that type of Leo energy and the energy of the sun, because the sun is the ruler of Leo. So one of the first things about the person you're going to marry, they are going to be a natural born leader. They're probably very confident. They are not afraid to take the lead. They're probably the type of person that people just naturally look to lead the way. People might really look up to them. This person is probably like very inspirational. They inspire people. They have a really uplifting energy about them. They uplift people's spirits. They have a really positive energy to them. And it's also very likely that they will be the center of attention. Like whether they try or not, they just naturally have that spotlight on them. This person is probably very popular. They might have kind of a big ego. They might have a lot of pride. They might be a bit of a show off. Like they might really try and show off, especially too, like in the beginning stages of you guys dating, you might notice that they really try and show off to you. They kind of want you to pay attention to them. And even in the marriage, they really want to be like admired and adored by you. They want your attention. They want your compliments. And there's probably something very innocent and creative and childish about this person. And what I mean by that is this person is very much connected to their inner child. They are playful. They have hobbies. They want to have fun, just like they did when they were a little kid. So they kind of have still never really lost that inner child innocence to them. They still have that childlike spirit about them, that optimistic, happy-go-lucky type of energy. Now, as far as what type of career that this person has, it's completely possible that they literally are like an actor or a performer, and this person could even achieve a certain level of fame. Now, that doesn't mean that they're gonna be like the most famous actor that you see on TV, but whatever they're doing, they're probably pretty high up in the rankings, or they have a lot of people who follow them or look up to them. They're really well known in their industry. So yeah, this is an indicator of marrying someone that potentially has some level of fame. They've achieved some level of fame. People notice them. People know who they are. They're popular in their career no matter what they do. But they also might be the center of attention in their career, like they are an actor or a performer or a singer or something like that. No matter what they do though, they probably have secured a pretty high position. They might be a manager or just a leader in the workplace. So yeah, they have a high position. They're a leader, they're a manager or something like that. And it's also possible, this kind of ties into the first thing I was saying, but it's very possible that they are in a creative industry. Whatever they do for work might be something really creative. I mean, that could be a bunch of different things, but definitely something that allows them to kind of show off their creative talents is very likely. So as far as your relationship goes, I think one of the funnest things about this dynamic is, first of all, you guys really accept each other for who you are, and you really allow each other to be your own unique individual person. You really don't try and get in the way of who this person is. You let them be authentic, you let them be themselves, and that goes vice versa. Both of you really respect that about each other, and you want that person to be their unique, authentic self. The other fun thing is that you guys will probably have a lot of friends and be really popular, because Leo is an energy that is really popular in the center of attention, but then Aquarius, you being the Aquarius rising, Aquarius rules friendships. It rules connections, networking, collaborations, and groups of people. So you guys might be really involved in a lot of different groups. You might be out there doing different things. You guys are kind of like a dynamic duo in that sense. You're popular. A lot of people know you guys. And then the main theme that exists in your marriage is that you guys really value your friendship first. You guys are best friends. You have the best friendship. You value your friendship. And that's what's really at the core of your romance, is this really strong friendship. So next up, we have Virgo. So if Virgo is occupying your 7th house, this of course makes you a Pisces rising. Now, sometimes astrology will be completely literal. You might literally marry a Virgo or somebody that has dominant Virgo placements like sun, moon, or rising, but that is not always the case. What this person will embody though are those more Virgo-like traits, and also those Mercury traits, because Mercury rules Virgo. So this person that you marry, first and foremost, they're gonna be really practical and rational and really grounded and just kind of down to earth. This person is going to have a lot of mental energy. There's a lot going on in their mind all the time, even if they don't really show that. This is someone who is observing and analyzing everything all of the time. They don't know how to stop. They're very, very analytical. They look at everything through a logical, analytical way. They are probably very smart, and they're probably kind of nerdy. They might be a bookworm. They might have kind of nerdy interests. This could be somebody that enjoys opening up their Excel spreadsheet and doing their budget, that type of person. They're probably also kind of shy, kind of closed off. This person is not someone that necessarily enjoys being the center of attention. They really like to help people, but they don't want all eyes on them. They really just want to be of service to other people out of like the good of their heart, and because they just feel like that is what they are meant to do. They feel like it's their purpose to help people. So this is someone who always wants to be of service to other people, to the environment, to animals. They really care about like the well-being of other people, and they feel like they are here to serve people. Now, they will probably also be of service to people in a pretty practical way. They want to help people make their lives easier and more manageable. But they can also at the same time be a little bit closed off. They might be a little bit hard to like get to know. They might have a lot of walls up. They might be a little bit more like emotionally distant, especially in the beginning of like getting to know them. But this person is also really, really critical. Okay, they're really critical of themselves. Like they are overly critical of themselves, but then they can also be critical of other people. They can at times be a little bit too opinionated, a little bit too judgmental. They're just picky and they're perfectionists, and they will notice any little perceived flaw, whether it's in them or somebody else. And when they find a flaw in somebody else, they want to help fix it. This person is also probably very clean. They might be health conscious, or they could be almost like okay, people with Virgo energy have a tendency to be like hypochondriacs. They might be really anxious about their health. That's not always going to be the case, but this person might be really focused on their health. They might be anxious about their health. So yeah, that's another thing to point out. They also might not like germs, and they might not really care for PDA. Now, as far as the type of career this person has, it's very likely they will be in the service industry in some way, or also in the hospitality industry. It's completely possible that this person is like a nurse or a doctor, or maybe they do something with animals, or they do something with the environment. They're doing something to help people. They might literally be like a server, or in the restaurant industry. They might work at a hotel, but they're always going to be doing something where they're getting to serve someone or something in some way, whether it's people, the environment, animals, something like that. Because there is this potential emphasis with health, they could be like a dietitian, a nutritionist, something like that. And it is possible that they could be in like the fitness industry as well. And I would say the other really common one would be something having to do with finance, something where they're able to be analytical and focus on statistics and crunch numbers, and do all that like really nerdy stuff that they're into. And lastly, they could also be in a career that requires them to use their hands, because Mercury does rule the hands and Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So they could have something where they have to literally use their hands, like they wouldn't be able to do the job without their hands. So those are the careers that this person might have. The dynamic within the relationship that you're going to have with this person, first of all, they're going to want to be of service to you, probably in a practical way. They're going to want to help you. They're going to want to help manage your life. They're going to want to help make your life easier. And what's really kind of beautiful about this pairing, although I will say in an extreme situation, it could almost become a little codependent or toxic. But in a healthy marriage, in a healthy relationship, what's really beautiful about the two of you is that you both help and serve each other in opposite ways. So you kind of serve this person emotionally, like you really help them with the more emotional and spiritual aspects of themselves in life, and they really help you with the more practical and day-to-day reality type of things. So you guys really are here to serve one another, to support one another, to be there for one another, and you really kind of balance each other out in that way. You really give the other person what they need, what they're lacking. All right, so next we have Libra. So if your 7th house is occupied by Libra, this makes you an Aries rising. Now, sometimes astrology will be completely literal. You might literally marry a Libra or somebody with really dominant Libra placements like sun, moon, or rising, but that's not always the case. What your marriage partner is going to embody, though, are those more Libra qualities and also those Venus qualities, because Libra is ruled by Venus. So your spouse is someone who's going to be very fair, very diplomatic, somebody who really strives for balance and harmony within themselves and their relationships and their lives. This person is very balanced. They want everyone to be happy. This is somebody that can be really self-sacrificing. They really are gonna put your needs before their own. This is someone who cares about their relationships so much that they will put themselves on the back burner because they want to take care of the other person. This is somebody that really factors in your point of view. They really consider your perspective. Again, this person has a tendency to kind of put your needs before their own. This is somebody who, like, their relationships, especially their marriage, is everything to them. This is the type of person that really identifies themselves with their spouse. Like, they don't feel like they are complete until they have that other half. So they really kind of attach their identity to their spouse, to their partner. This person is also probably very beautiful, very physically attractive. Venus is the planet of beauty. And so they have that Venus influence. This person's probably also very charming. They're friendly, they're flirty, they're likable. This is somebody that everyone likes. They're easy to like. They're very approachable. They're beautiful and they're charming, but not in an intimidating way. They really are very warm and make people feel very comfortable because they're so friendly and open. One of the more challenging aspects of this person is that they really, because they care so much about balance, they can become very, very passive and not really be comfortable facing things head on because they don't like confrontation. They can also be indecisive. That's probably a big thing with this person. Maybe they drive you crazy with their inability to make a decision sometimes. This person is also probably pretty into their appearance. They like to look good. They probably will always have a nice outfit, their hair done. Whether it's a guy or a girl, they're probably very well put together. They care about the way that they appear, they care about the presentation that they give to people when they see them. They're probably pretty into fashion. They might be into art. They might be a bit materialistic or like the more luxurious things in life, again with that Venus influence. Now, as far as the types of career this person might have, one of the big ones is something having to do with justice. So they might literally work in the legal field or with the law. They could be a lawyer, they could be a judge, or they could work in that type of environment, something having to do with justice, the law. They could work in a field that has to do with social justice and equality and stuff like that. Another big one, they could be involved in human resources. I see a lot of people with Libra energy work in HR. That is a super common thing. So they might do something like that. They could also, on the flip side, be more in a creative field. Again, maybe they're a model, maybe they're into modeling, or they're into the beauty industry, cosmetics, hair. Maybe they work in the art industry. Maybe they are an artist, or they work in an art gallery. And it's also possible that this person would either be in the fashion industry or the interior design, interior decorating, because this person is all about aesthetics and presentation and beauty and the way that things look. Now, as far as your guys' relationship goes, the beautiful thing about this pairing is that you really balance each other out so well. First of all, this person that you marry is the ultimate embodiment of balance and of relationships. Libra is the sign that rules the 7th house. So this person feels very comfortable in a relationship. They value relationships, but what this person really does for you is they really kind of soften your rough edges. You might be someone that's much more direct, much more selfish than this person. And this person is really going to help you to kind of balance that out a little bit. Maybe calm you down, bring more balance into your life, bring a little bit more structure even into your life. And on the flip side, you really teach this person to be more independent and to learn boundaries and to put themselves first a little bit. So you really kind of take each other's extremes and balance it out in a really beautiful way. But this is someone that will be very serious about the relationship. They will be very committed. They take relationships really seriously, and they will be all about you. They will adore you. They will love you. They will prioritize your needs. And yeah, it's a really beautiful balancing pairing. This person will bring balance and harmony into your life. Okay, so next we have Scorpio. So if you have Scorpio occupying your 7th house, this makes you a Taurus ascendant. Now, sometimes astrology will be completely literal. You might literally marry a Scorpio or somebody that has very dominant Scorpio placements like sun, moon, or rising, but that's not always going to be the case. This person will, though, they will really embody the type of energy that Scorpio embodies. They will also really embody the energy of Mars and Pluto, because those are the planets that rule Scorpio. So this person that you marry, first of all, they are very intense. They're intense. They're probably pretty sexy and seductive. They're probably kind of mysterious. They might be kind of secretive. They might kind of really keep to themselves. They might be kind of hard to like break their walls down, especially in the beginning. They might be very extreme. They might have really intense and extreme emotions, and they might be really passionate about you and just about things in general. This person also might be kind of possessive and jealous. They might be kind of like territorial of you. They might be really territorial when it comes to their marriage and their spouse. Like, you're my person. Like, they might really protect you, be really, really protective of you. This person is also very intuitive. Like, this person is psychic. This person can pick up on your moods. They're empathic. They can see through bullshit. They really can like seriously read your energy and read you really, really well. And this person is going to be someone that has like a very transformative energy about them. Maybe they are constantly like reinventing themselves, or they're constantly having to like rebuild their lives after some type of like tragedy takes place. It's very likely that this person has gone through a lot in their life. They may have experienced a lot of trauma or loss, death, abandonment in some way. They probably have had a lot of like really serious and intense situations happen in their life that have caused and kind of been the catalyst for this really deep transformation that they're capable of. It's also possible that this person is, like I said, guarded. They might really have trust issues. This person is also probably very like driven and determined and very fixated. Like, when they decide they want something, they kind of get tunnel vision and they go after it and they get it, and they won't really stop at anything. They will just like take it on with passion and determination. So as far as the type of career this person might have, first and foremost, they might be a psychologist or something in that realm. They might also be in some type of field where it's like investigative work, whether it's like investigative journalism or like they're literally a detective. They might have a career that requires them to like dig deep and sort through clues and get to the bottom of things and uncover like hidden truths and stuff like that. It's also possible this person could be involved in a spiritual type of field. Maybe they do some type of spiritual work, healing work, something that's like more in the occult. So yeah, some type of spiritual healing. Maybe they're involved, like they're a tarot reader or an astrologer or something like that. And then the other potential career would be, this is totally different, but this would be them in an industry that has to do with other people's money. Okay, so they could be like a financial advisor, or they could be in insurance, something like that, where they have to deal with other people's finances, other people's possessions. As far as the type of relationship that you guys will have, first of all, this is a really loyal marriage. This is a really committed marriage. And this is also to a relationship that is really soulful. Like, you really connect with this person on a deep soul level. Like, you really feel like this person is your soulmate. They really feel like you're their soulmate. You guys go really deep with one another. You probably share really deep things. Like, you open up about what's really going on, like deep in the dark corners of your mind. So you have a really committed, loyal, and deep relationship. And it's also very possible that a big theme in your relationship is finances, because the Taurus-Scorpio axis has to do with your personal finances and other people's money. So like, you're literally your spouse's money. So It's possible that you guys really bond because of finances in some way. You have the ability to really generate a lot of wealth with one another, and like each other's financial status might even be kind of like a driving force in your attraction with one another. So I know that sounds kind of materialistic, but that's just like the reality of the situation. You guys desire a partner that's financially stable, and you're financially stable, and you guys combine that, and like I said, you could really generate a lot of wealth together. Next, we have Sagittarius. So if your 7th house is occupied by Sagittarius, this makes you a Gemini rising. Now, sometimes astrology is completely literal. You might literally marry a Sagittarius or somebody with dominant Sag placements like sun, moon, or rising. But even if you don't, this person will embody the traits of Sagittarius and of Jupiter, because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So the first thing with this person that you marry, one of the big things that is completely likely is, first of all, this person might literally be foreign. Like they might be from a different country, or they might be from a totally different culture, a totally different background. It might literally feel like you come from other like worlds, other cultures. And this also could be a long distance relationship or a marriage where one of you, probably your spouse, has to travel a lot. So there might be a lot of distance between you guys, maybe for periods of time, or there's a portion of the marriage where you're, living in separate places for some reason. So there's definitely a distance, foreign country, culture difference between the two of you guys. That's very likely. That's not always the case, but it's very likely. You might meet this person when you're traveling. You might meet them out of the country. You might meet them in a foreign land. But this person is someone who, honestly, they have a larger than life energy about them. This person is optimistic. They're upbeat. They're just happy-go-lucky. They're fun. They're exciting. They're inspiring to be around. This person is also pretty blunt. Like they just say whatever's on their mind. They might not always be factoring in how their words are going to affect other people. They just speak the truth. This person is also someone who's very wise and really knowledgeable. They have a lot of knowledge. They have very expansive minds. This is somebody that definitely could have like a lot of education. They could have gone to college. They might have achieved a lot of like degrees or certifications, because Sagittarius does rule higher levels of education. They could be very spiritual or very into their religion, or they could just be like really passionate about the culture that they come from. Now, as far as the type of career this person has, they could definitely be involved in some type of career where they have to deal with international affairs. So they could have a job, maybe like they live in America, but their job requires them to communicate with people from Poland or something. You know what I mean? This person also might travel a lot for work, like specifically out of the country. Now, another potential career for this person, they could do something that is very spiritual or religious. Like they might literally be a religious leader or a religious teacher. They might be a priest, something like that. And then the other two that are very likely is they could be involved in the law in some way. Sagittarius has to do directly with the law, and they could also be a teacher, specifically like a professor, like a college professor, something like that. It's also very possible that this person might be kind of like lucky. They might be lucky in their career or just experience a lot of success and a lot of expansion in the career that they have. So this person might be very financially successful and really like very abundant in their career. As far as the type of relationship dynamic that you will have with this person, the main thing is the intellectual bond that you guys share. You will really want to like teach each other, specifically your spouse. Your spouse might really want to teach you things. They might be really knowledgeable and want to share that knowledge with you. But you guys will both be curious and adventurous and spontaneous. So you will connect really deeply on an intellectual level, but then there's also this really lighthearted, playful, friendship that exists in the marriage. So you guys might go on a lot of trips together. Maybe you travel a lot together. You experience different cultures. You teach each other things. You have a lot of fun. You're spontaneous. There's a strong emphasis of like adventuring through the world together. Okay, so next we have Capricorn. If your 7th house is occupied by Capricorn, this makes you a Cancer ascendant. Now, sometimes astrology is completely literal. You might literally marry a Capricorn or someone with dominant Capricorn placements like sun, moon, or rising, but that's not always the case. But this person will definitely embody those Capricorn-like traits and that Saturn type of energy, because Saturn is the ruling planet of Capricorn. So your spouse is somebody that is very mature, very serious, very responsible, very practical, rational, grounded. They have an authoritative energy about them. They have like dad energy. Like whether you're a guy or a girl, they're just kind of in charge. They're very authoritative. They maybe like to call the shots. They're just like the responsible energy and the person that takes the lead in the marriage. This is someone that's very productive, very resourceful, and they work really hard. They might be a workaholic. Work might be like the main thing in their life. They're always working. This person really cares about stability. This is a stable person. This is someone who's very grounded emotionally. Like this isn't someone that's going to have outbursts of emotions or make impulsive decisions. This is someone that's methodical, practical, thinks things through, and they might even seem kind of like cold or distant or boring in a way, because they just have a really serious and stern approach to life. Also possible that this person will be older than you, or if they're not literally older than you, they might just feel a lot more mature than you. Maybe they seem very, very mature for their age. They are probably just the more mature and responsible one between the two of you. This person, as far as their career goes, this is somebody that is very much focused on their work. This is someone that is all about business. They care a lot about finances. They care about making a lot of money. They want to be stable. So no matter what this person does for work, they're probably very successful at it. They probably have a pretty high ranking. Like this is someone that could be a CEO, a business owner, a manager, just hold some type of leadership position. They could be like a really important person in their workplace. Probably somebody who makes pretty good money. They make pretty decent money because that's something that's important to them. Now, as far as the relationship dynamic between the two of you guys, this person and this marriage is going to be very traditional. Capricorn and Cancer are like the dad and mom of the zodiac. So you guys are probably going to be the most traditional marriage out of everybody. You guys want to do things the traditional way. You want to build a home together, start a family, have children. You want to really do those traditional things. Those are the type of values that you guys have. But your relationship with this person, they are going to be the person that is probably like the breadwinner, or they're the one that is providing the financial security, or at least like the majority of it. They are really like the stabilizer in the relationship. They want to give you a stable home. This person is going to want to take care of you in practical ways. So the type of relationship that you guys have is one that's really committed, really loyal, really rooted in traditional values. You both probably want to get married. Like you're looking for your marriage partner. You guys want to have children. So that's why you guys are such a perfect pairing. You guys really want the exact same thing out of life, but then you provide the different halves that are needed. Like you're probably more of the emotional, domesticated homebody that takes care of the cooking and stuff like that. And this person is like the responsible breadwinner. You know, you guys might be the type of marriage where you kind of live by those more traditional roles. Like one of you is the provider, one of you takes care of the home, that sort of thing. Okay, so next we have Aquarius. So if your 7th house is occupied by Aquarius, this makes you a Leo rising. Now, sometimes astrology will be completely literal. You might literally marry an Aquarius or somebody with dominant Aquarius placements like sun, moon, or rising, but that's not always the case. This person is going to embody more of those Aquarian traits, and they will also embody the Uranus and Saturn traits, because those are the two planets that rule Aquarius. It's probably more so they will embody more of the Uranus traits, because this person that you marry is very unique. This is someone who is unconventional. They're out of the box. They're kind of rebellious. They're very unique, eclectic. They do their own thing. They really are not like, they're just not your everyday person. There's something about them that's very unique and different, and they're really like, they are their own individual person, right? They're very independent. They march to the beat of their own drum. There's something that really makes them stand out, probably in kind of like a weird way, almost. There's something kind of weird about them. Not weird in a bad way, it's just, it's unusual. Also possible that this is gonna be someone that like, maybe people would never expect you to marry this type of person. Like, there's just something about your spouse that kind of throws people off. Like, kind of what's the word I'm thinking of? The out of left field. Like, there's just something very unique about this person. Now, it's very likely that this person is highly intelligent. Aquarius and Uranus energy are kind of known for this like genius, brilliant energy. So this person's going to be really, really smart. They probably also are really smart when it comes to unconventional things that not everybody else knows about. Like, they might have a lot of knowledge on something that's very esoteric or very just unusual, something that is very like scientific. They might really be smart when it comes to things like that. These people really stand out in their own way. They're just different. Now, they're probably somebody that has a lot of friends. They are maybe even involved in a lot of different groups, because that is very Aquarius. That's that 11th house energy of groups and networking and the community and stuff like that. So they probably have a lot of friends. They're popular in their own way. They might not be the center of attention, but they have a lot of friends in a lot of different places. This is someone that is very future thinking. They're very progressive. They really think out of the box. They don't color within the lines, and they're rebellious in that way. They probably don't follow the traditional, societal standards. They really kind of do their own thing. It's also possible that this person is a bit more emotionally detached. Like, when they're met with something emotional, they might kind of need to retreat, go into their shell a little bit. They might come off a bit distant or cold emotionally, but it's because this person really analyzes their emotions. So they really like logically try and make sense of their emotions. So that's kind of a telltale, Aquarius energy, is that they're a bit emotionally detached. Now, as far as the type of career that this person has, they could be involved in some type of like humanitarian efforts, something where it's like helping the planet, helping humanity, helping animals, helping the environment, where they're being very like proactive about the future of humanity, the future of the earth. Then they could also be involved in something relating to technology or even the internet. They could be in a science industry. They could be a scientist. They could be a biologist. They could be a botanist, something having to do with plants. They could also be involved in like engineering or something like that. Something where like you got to be really smart to do it. You've got to be skilled. You've got to be intelligent. And it's also important to note that this person might be literally like a social media influencer. Like, in this day and age, this is someone that might be kind of famous online. Aquarius has to do with social media. This person could even be like an astrologer, right? Aquarius rules astrology. So there's a lot of different things that this person could do, but it would be something really, really unique to them that not everybody else can do. Like, they've got to have this special skill, this special knack for something, and a lot of knowledge in the field. They're not going to have an everyday job. Now, as far as the type of relationship that you will have with this person, one of the coolest parts of this relationship is that you really allow each other to be your own authentic individual person. You don't get in the way of each other's creative ideas or you don't try and tell the person how they need to be. You really accept each other for who you are, and you let each other be your own independent person with your own thing going on. But then you also make these really powerful collaborators. You guys could even like work together in some way. You're both really creative. You could put your creative efforts together and work together. And then the other thing too is that this is a relationship where there's a really strong friendship at the core of it. This is people who are best friends first and foremost, and you probably also have a large network of friends. You guys are probably popular. You know a lot of people. It's kind of like that married couple that like everybody loves, and they're invited to every party because they're like the funnest married partners ever. You know what I mean? Everybody knows that one married couple that is just like the life of the party. That is like really you guys. And you guys will also really complement each other's uniqueness and really kind of broaden each other's horizons. And this person especially will really help you to broaden your horizon and kind of tap into your own unique weirdness. Okay, so lastly, we have got Pisces. You guys, I've been filming for so long. It's starting to get dark and it's only like 3 p.m. and I feel like I've been talking for ages. But anyways, we finally made it to Pisces. If your 7th house, I almost said 12th house because I'm thinking about Pisces. I don't know what's going on at this point. If your 7th house is occupied by Pisces, this of course makes you a Virgo rising. Now, sometimes astrology is very literal. You might literally marry a Pisces or somebody with dominant Pisces placements like sun, moon, or rising, but that is not always the case. This person that you marry though is going to embody that Piscean type of energy, and they're really going to embody that Neptune energy and Jupiter as well. But when I think of Pisces, I think of Neptune because Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces. This person that you marry, first and foremost, they are someone who is very sensitive. They are sensitive emotionally. They are sensitive to energy. They are sensitive to the world around them. They're sensitive to your needs. This person is very compassionate. This person is self-sacrificing. This person is going to make you the most important thing in their life. They're going to put your needs before theirs. They're going to want to help you. They're going to want to help save you. They might want to help fix you and heal you. You could both be a little codependent on one another. I'm just going to say that. That can happen with this Virgo Pisces axis that we have going on here. But this person is someone who's very spiritual. They are kind of dreamy. They might literally seem like somebody that came from another planet. Like they're this angelic being that didn't really come from Earth. There's something dreamy and ethereal and very mystical and magical about this person. They're also very creative. This is someone that really needs a creative outlet to express themselves and to kind of work through all the energy that they're absorbing. This person might be really into film, photography, acting, music, art, any type of creative pursuit. It's also possible that this person has or has had or just has the tendency to have addictive behaviors. They can kind of escape. They might want to escape from the real world because it's also very possible that this person isn't very grounded. They might not be very grounded in the real world. They're very fluid. They're very sensitive to energy. They're that water energy. They go with the flow. This person is intuitive. They're psychic. They are empathic. This is also someone that might lack boundaries. People with a Pisces Neptune influence, they don't really see boundaries. Boundaries kind of dissolve and they kind of merge with other people. And that's one of the things that this person is going to desire from a marriage. They want that spiritual, soulful, soulmate connection. That is what they're looking for. Now, as far as the type of career that this person has, they could definitely be involved in a spiritual career, or something where they are in the healing arts, where they're getting to really help people, maybe in a very spiritual way. This is someone that likes to take on the pain and take on the burden of other people. They want to help heal people. So that's a very possible career that this person might be in. They also might definitely be in a creative field. They might be an artist. They might be a creative. They might not have your traditional type of job. They probably have a career that resonates with them on a soul level. So they might not be the type of person that just wants to go get a traditional career to make a certain amount of money. They want to do something that resonates with their soul. Now, as far as the type of relationship that you guys have, this is a beautiful bond because you both really value being of service to other people. You're going to want to serve each other, but kind of in different ways. You probably want to serve this person in a more practical way, and they want to serve you in a more spiritual, emotional way. So there is a chance that this is a codependent bond, but in a healthy situation, you guys really support one another. You help each other. You want to fix each other's flaws. You want to really help each other grow spiritually and in a practical way. And you guys are just both so focused on healing and serving other people that it becomes a really beautiful give and take between the two of you. But again, there could be a bit of a codependent energy. You could lack boundaries within your marriage a little bit, or you could really just balance one another out and really give the other person what they're lacking and what they really need, so that way you both become grounded, both spiritually and practically. All right, you guys, that wraps it up for this video. I don't know who's still watching this till the end. I feel like I just talked for 2 hours straight. I have so much to edit, but it's fine. This was such a fun video to film. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you're still watching right now and you made it till the end. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye.